Alright. I think I am live. The computer's still being a little bit annoying at me, so I'm doing a few tests first as I am streaming. Let me know if it is or isn't working. There it goes. Yes. All right. I am here. All right. Says Light, hello, I'm here and you are very alive. Well, that's good. Although I really wanted to be undead for this stream, so I guess I failed in that aspect and we just have to, you know, end it. Tier says, oh no, Twitch, I'm totally okay. Yeah. 30 seconds of the stream. Yeah, Twitch and its ads or whatever. Anyway, hello! I am here again, and I am here to do banjo stuff. As always, well, as commonly, I will be doing a new song that I just got from banjo lessons yesterday. And as is exciting about yesterday, they're multiplying. So, I haven't pulled my banjo into the repair shop yet. I'm getting a few things fixed. But my teacher, in anticipation, and I think out of irritation of one of my strings, he hates how one of my strings sounds. He's like, here's this other banjo to practice on in the meantime. So I have two banjos that I can screw around with today, and I will be screwing around with both. I do actually like mine better, which is good because I bought mine, but it'll be fun to play around with both. So, yes. I mean, if you have a toy, you play around with both. So, Light says, you can call a necromancer and stab me. Thank you so much. Yes, double banjo! Life is so exciting with all the double banjos. So, I am going to start by pulling out both banjos and showing off, like, the differences between them and so forth, because why the hell not? So, I'll put my teacher's banjo up here. And I'm like all nervous I'm accidentally going to chip his case or something stupid, even though I don't think that he would care. Cause, yeah, but I'm still being careful. So here's his, and yep, banjo. Ta-da! All the beautifulness. I need to probably do what, a 360, just rotate it through so that you can see the butt with the back with the resonator. There we go. That's his, which I'll set down in my handy dandy stand for right now. It's got good alliteration. And pull mine out as well. I have a feeling I'm going to be rehearsing this new song the majority of the time with my instrument because you know how it is with instruments is yours is the most comfortable because you know exactly how it talks. So I've already figured out the quirks of this baby. Here's mine again. Ta-da! So I know the weird quirks that mine does and how it reacts weirdly to certain things. Whereas, you know, another banjo will do something different. One of my grumbles. Work on that later. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so I know the idiosyncrasies of my instrument. So because of that, I'm comfortable with it, even in the idiosyncrasies that are not optimal, such as the buzzy fourth string. Although it'll be so nice when my banjo actually does not have that buzzy fourth string. So yeah. Fury shouts, "Banjo! It is a very shiny boy." Yes. My teacher's is a very shiny. It's got a much more delicate appearance to it. It's slightly heavier than mine, but here. Maybe I should hold them up next to each other. Are we just gonna play banjo show and tell for the moment? Yes, we are. Here we go. So the two of them side by side make me look like the ultimate nerd. Ooh, banjos. Okay. And then, you know, you can see the different colorations. Mine's the lighter one. Yeah. So, some things to note is, See how you've got a different number of... Okay, wow, you know, as a banjo player, I should remember the parts of all the instrument, but I'm still not good with them yet. So, you know, along the head here, we've got all of these prongs, right? Notice his has a lot more than mine. Mine's much fewer. The fretboard is something that I like and something I'm sad mine doesn't have. So my banjo was made basically on the concept of good sounding instrument as cheap as possible. So they cut all of the aesthetic and building things that they possibly could. They cut all of the corners without majorly sacrificing sound, which means that my neck is just this maple instead of the more standard black funsies. This banjo does have something that I like that I'll actually have to pull up close to the camera to show you what it has that mine lacks. My teacher was like, you know, you can just fix that by drawing on your banjo in Sharpie, and I'm like, fuck no. So, when you play the instrument, you know, usually you're holding it up like this, and you see the side, right? You're not staring up at the fretboard like this. So that means, you know, figuring out where you are in relation to frets can be a little bit difficult from this angle, which is why on the side, you'll notice that they have little dots. See these little dots right there? That tells me my positions. I hope the camera is good. Yeah, you can see the dots in there. So the dots basically tell me where I am. And my banjo right here, this one doesn't have that. So that's one of the reasons why I actually play with an angle like this. I'm over-exaggerating the angle, but I do that angle so that I can actually see where I am on my instrument. This one I don't have to because I see the little dots. So Light says, I feel similarly using someone else's anything, their phone, their computer. I feel, yeah, that's a good point about phones. Oh my gosh, when I'm on someone else's phone, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What is happening? What alternate universe have I entered? So, yeah. So this banjo feels a little bit off, but there's some things that speak well to it. So it doesn't feel as well made to mine in some respects, but there's other things that are nice about it. So, you know how some instruments sort of have that plasticky feel regardless of whether or not they're made out of plastic? There's that sense of durability and, you know, like they speak quick, but it's the speak quick for a beginner feeling. Like they feel slightly cheap sometimes. It's not a bad feeling necessarily. It also, you know, depends on what you feel like. Well, this banjo sort of has that feel to it. So it has that beginner speak quick feeling to it. It's not poorly made, and it is sort of nice that it speaks so quickly, especially because we're going to keep on going back and to talk about my fourth string, which is the low D string. My low D string speaks very slowly and it buzzes. This thing does not have that issue. The string does exactly what it's supposed to. It's also a brighter tone. Much brighter tone. Yeah, so I don't know if his banjo is more expensive or less expensive than mine. I have not yet looked up the model or anything about this thing. So my impressions could be completely far off. One thing I did notice that my banjo has that his doesn't, and I'm so pissed that his doesn't have this, is one reason why I think it's a cheaper end instrument, in addition to how it just feels on my hands and what the material feels to be made of right here, because this feels plasticky. So, this fifth peg. There's multiple ways of making these pegs. One of them is more precise than the other. So, on the less precise version, you like barely touch the peg and it goes down half a step. And so trying to get that stupid motherfucker in tune is an absolute nightmare. On my banjo, you'll notice that there's a different mechanism on the fifth string, and it's much more precise and allows me to fine-tune my pitch a lot better. Most banjos are like mine now. In the past, mine was a little bit more of a luxury. Now this is standard, and this is more old-fashioned, cheap, or fuck you, why? So this is very non-preferable, and you don't really see it as much anymore, and unfortunately, this is on this one. Okay. So Light says, yeah, my penny whistle has a feel sort of like that. I haven't even used a more expensive whistle, and I can feel that mine is just, it was designed for a beginner. It's shiny and simply designed. Yeah, you can get that feeling. So it happens, and that's fine. And so, you know, that's the way some things are designed, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, for you it plays well, but there's some issues with the high register speaking. Yeah, that's fair. You know, even on some of my better penny whistles, some of the high register stuff is weird. And honestly, that's one reason why I love my D whistle, is even though it's really, really cheap, it speaks in the high register so bafflingly well. The problem is it doesn't speak well in the low register. And better penny whistles, I've noticed, when they make better penny whistles, they make them with the focus of making the lower register clear and speaking quickly. So lower register is one of the first things to test in how good a penny whistle is, I've noticed, because that's where they put the care in. A cheap whistle has a very breathy, shitty, hard to speak lower range. A well-made penny whistle will have a very good low range. So, yeah. Of course, you need to check the full range of the instrument, too, because an instrument that only plays in the low range would suck as well. Yeah, this feels weird to play, but man, it's nice to have a low string that speaks. Alright, let's get this baby a little bit more in tune, and then let's start playing a few pieces, shall we? Alright, my tuner is over here, so I'm gonna have to move my buttocks yet again. I swear my tuner was in here. Oh, I already pulled my tuner out because I'm a butthead. Who needs to be smart when you can be dumb? Okay, tuner. Let's see how shitty we are. And we're tuning to the top string instead of an actual pitch. Yeah, okay, another thing I can tell that's annoying about this instrument is, the pot, the resonator. The resonator, this big, chunk of wood and gloriousness, it's slightly loose. So I can feel it shifting. I'm like, no, don't do that. You're supposed to be solid. Okay. Okay, so it's a little bit flat. So we're gonna tune everybody a little bit flat. Light says, to be honest, I want to invest in some Susato whistles like your B-flat one. I love the B-flat. The tone is really good. The B-flat one, I will give one complaint on. It has a very, very shitty upper register. And it's very difficult to play. The upper register is very limited, and it has some tone issues in the upper register. But the low end of the instrument is absolutely glorious. And to be fair with the low B-flat whistle is, number one, it's in a weird shape and key. Number two, if you're buying a B-flat whistle, you're buying it for the low notes. So, yeah, just a warning on that B-flat one, there are some issues with it. I like it, but there are some issues with it. Alright, so Tyrannia says you're returning to work, so you'll be lurking. Enjoy that lurking. Yeah, I'm not touching this peg. I remember how much of a ping that was yesterday at lessons. So we're about 15 cents flat. And that's right on the money, so we need to make you flatter. Everyone else is in tune, and then this poor string that I'm not going to touch up here is the one that's off. Oh, my poor heart tuning things out of tune. Like, yeah, the low notes are what you wanted in the first place. Yeah, exactly. It's just that, you know, when you're playing a song, it's nice to have the full range. But, you know. That the B-flat's still not a bad experience in my life. Nope. Isn't this the most fun part of the stream? You're gonna have a horde of whistles. Yep. I should not tell you that Susato has packs that are literally every single key of whistle all at the same time. Of course, it's expensive, but they do have that, and for 2 different grades of quality. Ugh, that's... okay, okay, there's some weird buzzing issues, actually. Okay, close enough. Let's actually get to the point. So one thing I do like about this banjo also is that my hammer-ons, slides, and pull-offs actually speak louder. Like, listen to how clear that is. It's very loud. My other banjo, the low D, does not speak that loudly when I do a shift or slide like that. Nah. That half-step thing is just it's a... Alright, nope, nope, I'm not gonna get started on why Jaws is a ripoff. We're not gonna get started on that. Nope. Nope. But give Dvorak his credit. Anyway. Yeah, isn't that so clear? Isn't that cool? Like, oh, yum. You can hear it. So, okay, so Dvorak, just listen to, let's see, is it the 4th movement that's the start? I'm thinking it's the start of the 4th movement of, Dvorak's 9th. It starts, da-dum, da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, but anyway, while the, Jaws theme is very distinct from the main movement that Dvorak wrote, that opening da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then building up and getting louder, more complex on top of it. It's very comparable, especially, you know, that opening, half-step theme and the rhythm with it. It's just so similar, it's legitimately annoying. And I know that John Williams listened to a lot of Dvorak because there's one trumpet lick at the end of Star Wars Episode 4 that is almost identical to another part of Dvorak's 9th. Dun da 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 bum bum. So the similarities always drive me crazy, especially because I love Dvorak's music so much. So you know, it's not that the Jaws theme doesn't have its own merit, and I know John Williams came up with it in other creative ways and forms, and it was a smart idea, and, you know, there's a lot of novel stuff to it, but, yeah, no, it drives me crazy for a reason. I definitely prefer the Dvorak, so, you guys calling me a nerd. Yep. Thanks for letting me, ramble on about that one. So yeah, there we go. It's fun. Yeah, I love Dvorak. I fell in love with his music when I was in all-state orchestra as a senior in high school. I got first chair flute, so I had to play a whole bunch of solos because we played Dvorak's Eighth, and that's a really cool piece. So anyway, yes, before I start getting on to my classical shenanigans, I should probably do the song that I am learning now. And this is a song called Big Sandy River, and it's actually very simple, and I think the reason I was assigned this is because I was struggling with the last two songs that my teacher gave me. So doing a simple one to, you know, number one, get my ego back, number two, work up my skills, number three, you know, not drown in misery. Actually, I do like the songs that we're currently learning, but they're a little hard. Do I have it memorized? We'll see. This is hard to play with a new banjo. And me beginning, it wouldn't be hard to play on a new banjo if I weren't a beginner. Song memorized! I'm playing it shittily because I'm thinking more about what's the next note than making it sound musical, but I guess my last lesson song I actually do have memorized. Cool. Anyway, let's get on track. So the song that we're currently playing is called Big Sandy River. My teacher jokingly said it sounded Italian in the carnival-esque, hokey, you know, the carnival-esque sound. I hear it a little bit, I guess. I don't really, but yeah. It'll be a nice simplicity. You know what? Let's get my banjo. I want to play on my banjo. While I still have my banjo before I get you off to the shop. And there we are. Swapping. Yep, here's my Buzzy D string. I really like the tone on my banjo better, and I like the feel on my banjo better. The physical feel of how it feels to put your fingers on the strings just feels so much better. Yep. So let's figure out what the notes are. Light says, might as well love on Fids while you can before the buddy gets sent away. Yeah, exactly. I love my Fids. My baby Fids right here. Which is exciting. And until I get Fiddleford II, I'm going to give all of my love to Fids. So, yep. So this song, we can actually talk a few technique things that are really simple that I'm going to be focusing on as I get this sounding to not a dumbass beginner. So what's going on here is I actually stick in the same hand position or even just position at all for long strings of time. So it's more on playing with the right hand than it is doing left hand shit. So we have the opening, which is a very common banjo opening. And then we switch to a hand position that we're going to use for basically the rest of the melody in the first line. So notice I just have my fingers just chilling right here, like this. Woo! Exciting. And sometimes they're going to be sliding up to here, but they're going to keep that same exact position on the same exact strings. We're just going to go whoop whoop, and then hold it down a lot. And it's more about the variation in the right hand for how we get all the different notes. So here we go. You get a, and I'll tell you when my fingers switch. See, that's all at once, and then I switch. Then back to that same fingering. Go. Here's that hand position. Hand position again. And here we go to section B, and notice my fingers are gonna barely move. And yeah, of course I hugged my banjo. Who doesn't? Oh, this one has a really cool fingering in here. We're gonna have a flat in here. Ah, yay. Right here. Now back to hand position. Of course I said here's the flat and then I played the wrong note. Now you hear it. It's right there, that's a nice B flat. So yeah, glad to entertain, dude. Yep, so that's why this song is so legitimately simple. So of course I'm gonna say that and fail to work it up during this stream because Murphy's Law or something. But yeah, that's basically how this motherfucker goes. It's really simple, and so now it's just a matter of me sounding like a badass playing it. So let's start to sound like a badass. What's my tuning like on this baby? Why is that G always a pain? Why do you fall flat every single time? My third string hates me. Every single other... Okay, no, my B string hates me too. But it's more cooperative. My third string is a pain in the ass. It's the rebel of the family. Every other string keeps its tuning, except for this stupid string, which is the tonic note, which is the most important note in the chord. Okay, let's fix my tuning. That's better. Alright, time to play the song. Let's see, where should we start on the metronome? Or should I just make sure I get a good sense of the song playing it first? Let's do that. Let's not be too metronome reliant. Oh, scheisse, I'm playing it on the wrong finger. That's a pinky. This will make this easier. I'm playing the wrong fingering. I'm going to do that several times to ingrain it in the brain. There it is. Beautiful. Okay. There we are. Pinky! Use that fucking pinky. Light has heard me complain about pinkies before. So, I know I need to work this little finger. This was one of the worst things about me playing viola, was that I hated playing my pinky. And of course that limits you. You have to use all of your fingers. And in banjo, that's no exception. So, I need to get my pinky strong. The other, it's it's going to be a work in progress, but I'm forcing myself to use my pinky, and that'll make all 5 fingers a lot more limber and awesome. Light can attest to one time I was complaining about, oh, pinkies are so hard, my song's so hard, and then I was watching an old Flat and Scruggs video, and Earl was just going woo, 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 with his pinky everywhere, and he was just flying his pinky, and his pinky was like half of the melody, and I just got so angry and rage quit my life. So yeah, I know I need to work on this stupid finger. So let's work on the pinky. Interesting motion upward. So I'm checking the actual notes. I'm pretty sure there's several notes I'm going to want to emphasize that I can tell already. Light says, this fucking nerd cannot shut up about Scruggs ever, and it's marvelous and so much fun. Oh, shut up. Come on. I'm being a good banjo player by watching The Professionals. Watching Bela Fleck is also something that I do regularly, and Bela Fleck very regularly makes me go, what the bloody fuck? And actually it was fun, my banjo teacher and I were talking about Bela. He brought Bela Fleck up, and he was like, yeah, I was over in Telluride, and last time that Bela was here, I went up to the front row, and I just stared at him, because almost every single banjo player that I hear, I'm just like, meh, I know what he's doing. And then with Bela Fleck, I'm sitting here, I'm like, he's playing inversions and stuff that I've never learned before. And the way that he picks is just so abnormal. I'm just sitting there thinking, are you sure we play the same instrument? And I understand that sentiment completely, even though I'm a beginner, I've watched Bela's streams, and I've, seen him all close up, and I'm like, what the bloody fuck are you doing, dude? It's so novel. It's so interesting. It's so progressive what that guy can do on the banjo. It's legitimately so cool, and more people should be following in his playing footsteps, because he is doing stuff that will be the next step for banjo performance. Absolutely. Absolutely. And get banjo out of the niche as the bluegrass instrument. Like, Bela's showing so many techniques that are just so applicable in so many ways, and they're so cool, but I have no fucking idea what he's doing. Yeah, but you aren't in love with Mr. Fleck. Shut up. At least Mr. Fleck is alive, and I can actually, have the chance to hopefully see him in person someday. And that will be the best thing ever, because he's, like, the best banjo player alive right now. So if I saw Bela in person, you can guarantee that I will be a sobbing fanboy the entire time. So, yeah. But I definitely am gonna try to find a way to see him. There's so many festivals. Colorado has so many big bluegrass festivals. There's no possible way he won't come back here, and I am going to see that guy. I am going to see that guy. It's gonna be great. Yeah, so, anyway. Why do I get into all these stupid nerdy talking sprees when I'm with you guys? You would die if you could meet Scruggs. See, I would have difficult saying anything at all to, Bela. Like, I would have difficulties knowing what to say. I'd be like, blah, blah, blah. If I saw Earl, I wouldn't even be able to walk up to him. You would have to shove me in his direction. I wouldn't know how to handle myself, except, just shut down and stare and hide. Okay, it's that, stare while not staring at that person thing. You're staring, but you're trying not to stare. Yeah, it would be that. And then hiding. Yeah, that's about what it would be. Yeah. Come on, it's relatable. There's all those people that, yeah. It's why we love you. Thank you. Ah, there's an out of tune note. What, did you slip? Yes, you did. How dare you? That's better. There we go. Yuck. That was terrifying for a second. Pinky! Crap. I do not... Wow, I'm actually playing more pinkies than normal now. I think I'm trying to compensate. Actually, no, that's... Yeah, because it shouldn't be a pinky right there. So, melodically, let's actually study this so that I'm speaking this out the most musically as possible. So, definitely hit that note right there. You need to get that spoken out because it's a very unique da 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 dum. So you hear that pattern? This note up here is just being a drone. It's not important, so try to make it in the background. And there's that. Just lean into that. So yeah, the thing is you always emphasize the first note, so it's a da 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 dum. Get that shape. Get that shape in there. Light says, see, you're gonna miss the slippery string that Fids has when it gets fixed. Hilarious. So, the slippery string isn't the one getting fixed, but who knows, maybe they'll fix it too. Part of me will be like, what the fuck, when they actually get this buzzy 4th string fixed on Fids, but it'll be good. It's definitely been bothering me. It's been bothering my teacher like the bonkers ever. Because it's so clunky. Like, listen to that. It's just clunk. Yeah, so it needs fixing. It messes up my tone everywhere, so it'll be nice to get that fixed. It's so overdue. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I've been compensating on that string. It's because I know it's a buzzy thing. The way I play it has been affected. So I need to get it fixed also for my own technique so that I'm not playing on an instrument where I'm constantly anticipating the buzz, but I'm actually playing it so that I can get that nice melodic sound in there. Song. Sweet. Let's zoom it, dudes! Zoom time. So let's see. We'll start not on 84. Usually my default starting point is 60 or 120, really. This is gonna feel slow, but that's okay because this implants it into my memory. Let's actually get my phone metronome. That one's louder. It's going to be less pleasant for you guys to hear, but it's going to be more useful for me to hear. Oh good, my phone isn't out of batteries. That would have been Murphy's Law. Nice and loud. Click, click, clicky, clicky. Yep. I'm rushing. Cute. There we go. Alright, so I can play it full through, which is always good to test at a slow tempo before you increase it. So the biggest challenge for this song actually is because you keep your fingers in this stable position, you can accidentally start muting strings. So if I have this thing down here and this up here, if my hands accidentally start like pressing down on a string, it can actually mute a string and make it not sound. See, here? I'm doing that with the meat of my hand right here. So you have to make sure your hand is not pushing on that string instead of pushing it down. So that's the main problem about having your hand stay in one position is a long time, is you can accidentally start muting strings. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Speedy time. Let's start the increase session. It's weird to play triplet banjo. I haven't done that yet. Here we go. Yeah, this is not a hard song. I'm thinking about my fingering. Yeah, I really need to be a little bit more open like that for positioning. Positioning. That's better. as slow as you get cocky, and then you're like, I'm actually not being as consistent as I thought I was. So, because I'm cheating. And the thing is, cheating works when you're playing slowly, but cheating ain't so good when you're playing fast, and it also just, it solidifies bad technique. So, I mean, it's good to know how to cheat, because sometimes you'll have to cheat when you're improvising, but making sure you can do it right is a very, very, very good thing, and makes your method good in the end. Click, click, click. The most important notes are pretty obvious on that second line. The first line I'm just sort of clunking around because I'm like, meh. Cool. Speedier. Calling myself out constantly. Yeah, I'm cheating a lot. Alright, well I've got a good idea for what the song is supposed to be, so it won't take me very long to work it up, so by next week's lesson I will have this zooming pretty fast. It won't be that bad. You know, just for shits and giggles, let's like speed it up a whole fuck ton and just see how it sounds like without me practicing it. How about 88? Trainwreck! Terrible, all things considered. Some creative improv in there, but not terrible considering. Ha, there's the train wreck. Yeah, this is not going to take long to speed up. Would you guys like me to quickly play some of my old songs? from the other lessons, because those are slightly more worked up, and it could be fun, well, for me, too, to play another song. So, yeah. Woohoo! I'm gonna do that. I'm getting myself a quick drink first, so you get to see, like, my armpit or whatever's showing on the screen. Looks like, yeah, my shoulder. Yeah, play some of the older ones, too, says Light. Sounds good. Let's do it. And I can play some of my older ones on... Oh, I've got an idea. I'll play some of my, lesson songs that are, like, works in progress, but I want to play my really good songs that I know well on this guy just for practice to see how it goes. So, you know, my old classics or whatever, you know. Oh man, this feels so weird. Whoa! Difference in feel. Oh yeah, this feels different. Oh, this will be fun. Fuck yeah. Experiment time. This is interesting. Light says, I like your banjo more. And Fury says, oh yeah, speedy banjo. Speedy, speedy, speedy. Yeah, so Light, you like mine more? You like the tone better, I'm gathering, is what you mean? Yeah, I like mine so much more. Especially after just coming straight off mine to this. I'm like, oh man, mine is better quality. The one nice thing is this one part on Blackberry Blossom. I actually can't play it very well because it relies on my clunky strings, so I can't make this nice sweet. It's really hard to get it to sound. So that's one area where I'm compensating. I've actually cheated and done. You can play the same notes, different fingerings, right? So usually it's... But you can also do... Cheating. So, whatever works, right? There's no actual right answer. So, yeah. At least with this one, you know, that string speaks. But beyond that, I'm not really a fan of this banjo. Light says, the tone is sweeter and more joyful. Your teacher's is more mellow. That's an interesting comment. So I feel like my teacher's is both... Mine has more resonant... It has much more of the frequencies and formants. This is more, like, it's simultaneously brighter, but it doesn't have the same full resonance and ringing of all the frequencies. Because you get the fundamental frequency, you know, the low one, and then you have all of the other frequencies that stack on top of it. Those ones stacked on top don't sing as much out of it, which means that the tone doesn't sound as full on this one. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah. Fids is excited as I am. Yeah, Fids and I, we've got a connection. This one also has different tuning tendencies, which is hilarious. I know there's a few strings on Fids that get too sharp, even when I'm playing on the right fret. This one has different tuning tendencies, so the things that I'm used to being sharp aren't sharp, and then some of the things that I'm used to being on pitch are sharp. It's great. lot better. Haddock technical talk. Sorry, was the technical talk too technical? I was trying to describe the differences that I was hearing without using too many sciencey words. Because fundamental frequency and all of the formants are very key in language too. Light says, okay, instruments absolutely have a personality to them, and there's so many notable differences in how your banjo talks compared to your teachers. Yeah, you're so right. And I think that's one of the things that I love about musical instruments is that they do sing. And it's not just them singing in the sense of, oh, it makes music. It's that sense of you can feel them vibrating. You can feel them responding to you as if they are, or, you know, as if they're alive. And it's a, you know, it's a relationship between you and your instrument that gets it to make good music. So every single instrument has a personality. And I remember when I was buying Fidz, I was very curious about what his personality was going to be. And I love what his personality turned out being. So it's just so I was trying to combine the word instrument and interesting. It's so interesting how every single instrument has its own personality. I think one of the best stories I have about instruments and personality is when I was buying my good viola. Not the viola I started on, but the viola I have today. Is I had a budget of, I had a budget. And my Dad and I were traveling around Denver to lots of different shops to play all of the violas that were in my price range. And we played the first one and I was like, eh. We played the second one and I was like, a little better, but eh. And we kept on going, and it was about the third store that we were in. And we got to this one instrument that it was at the top of my price range. And I played the first note, and it was immediately this sense of, holy shit. Immediately knew she was the one. Like, there was no question. With that single note, I could feel the entire personality of that instrument, and it just hit me in the chest like a train wreck. It was so powerful, and it was this beautiful, deep resonant, and you could feel the viola vibrating and singing, and she had this dark, warm tone. It was the exact tone I wanted, and how she responded to me was how I wanted her to respond for the most part, and it's just, oh man, instruments have personalities. It's so interesting. With banjo, I thought I would want, like, you know, a more upbeat personality, but Fidz is a very, he's a very tame, chill instrument. Like, you know, if he were a cat, he'd be that cat that just sort of lies around and, you know, lets you screw around with the cat and play with the cat and do weird things with the cat, and the cat's just like, yep. Just, he's so mellow personality-wise. He doesn't act up or complain or anything, and, you know, it ended up being a good match somehow, even though I was expecting to get, like, a rowdy banjo or something. I don't know what I was expecting. How to Train Your Instrument, says Fury, with obvious reference to How to Train Your Dragon. It's so true. Fucking delighted to be plinking. Yep. Yeah, okay. So I wasn't too technical, you were just calling me out on being a dweeb. Of course you were. So, yep. I could actually put this strap around my neck like a normal person. There. I know the sorts of things I think I'm going to look for when I get, like, you know, my fancy, expensive banjo, which will be named Fiddle for the Second. I already have that name in mind. Surprise, surprise. I'll keep Fidz, but, when I get a fancy-ass banjo, there are certain things that I'm looking for that'll be improvements upon this one, but also certain things that I think I've connected to with this one that might end up following through with the second instrument. It'll be interesting to see. One thing's for certain, we're getting a banjo that has a very cooperative, non-buzzy fourth string. Okay, I won't get a second banjo for years, but basically, before I even bought this banjo, I knew I would have to upgrade. Because I bought a beginner banjo. This, the Deering Good Time banjos, this is a good time too. They're a very, very popular upper beginner instrument, which means that they're a beginner instrument that isn't shit. And they're good instruments to learn on, but the thing is they're not good instruments to become masters on. there is something to be said about upgrading an instrument after you've played it for several years. And this is going to be no exception. I don't have the money, obviously, to pay for a very expensive banjo, and this one's going to last me a while. But there will get to be a time where I outgrow Fids. I will. You know, of course, very talented musicians can make anything sound good because they're just that talented at getting sound out of an instrument. But you are held back by beginner instruments. So, yeah, eventually I will have to upgrade. That's just how the instrument game works, and I accept that, and that's just how it goes, so, it's fine. Alright, let's pull up some of the other songs. So with my flute, I think it was 3 years when I upgraded. Viola, it was about 3 or 4. Most of my instruments I buy in the cheap category because I am not planning on becoming an expert on. There we go. I just need to really hold it down to get that nice. Alright, let's go to Gold Rush. Thank you guys, by the way, I'm saying this midstream, but thanks for hanging out with me as I do this. This is turning out to be a very good energy relief. I was feeling very... I wasn't able to concentrate on work, and I haven't been able to concentrate on work for the last 2 or 3 days. So it was so pent up that I just needed to expel all energy into a banjo simultaneously. So it's been great to do that by hanging out with you guys and doing music together too. It's always a lot of fun for me, and I hope it's fun for you guys too. Oh, I should show you guys this really cool part on Gold Rush. I'm finally starting to get it. So what's cool about this part is that it's just constant pull-offs. It's so cool. Let's see if I can get it. I can get it somewhat fast. I'm so proud of myself. Now Fury says, if Toothless was an instrument, what would he be? This is a very good question, and it depends on whether we're talking books or movies. Isn't that such a cool part? It's just nyom, 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 and I love the amount of pull-offs. Alright, Light says, aw, thank you so much. Aw, that makes me feel happy too that the music braining is contagious. Makes me smile. Up. You are making ooh, that's exciting! You're making progress! That makes me so happy to hear. Alright, my room is getting dark. I am turning up the lights. Hopefully not messing up the lights that you all see. I'll turn on just a few. This one's gonna mess some of your visuals up, but it'll help me. So there. I won't get that one. There. I I'm not playing well today, but I'm getting the energy out, so I don't care. This one section that drives me crazy. Again, it deals with the pinky, but it's... Pull the pinky out. Yeah. There it is. My pinky sometimes curls up, which makes it harder to reach my other fingers. So I need to just remember that pinky stretches and is flat. Yeah, that's a good point about Light saying practice isn't about being your best anyway. It's really not. It's about getting shit down. Strong. So one of the fascinating things I've observed about is, for whatever reason, when I am performing, I'm magically at my best. Is it something about this stage and the audience that even if you think that you aren't at your best, as soon as you are on stage, you are your best? Of course, I've made some stupid mistakes on stage, some really stupid mistakes, but for whatever reason, the very environment pushes me up to another level. I will never forget one time I was playing this really dramatic piccolo part, And it was for this fast Russian song, so of course the piccolo part was batshit insane. And I'd never gotten it fully right at a rehearsal. And then at the performance, for the first time with the orchestra, I nailed it. Which is the only time it counts, right? The performance. But I was so proud of myself that that one run that was so freaktastically hard, I just nailed it at the performance, and it was the only time I had. That was a fun song. Actually, it might have been Polish. I could look up the song. I still have a copy of it. I'm starting to nail things now. Maybe it was the switching between banjos so much threw me. Okay, I have a theory. If from worst to best playing, it's worst lessons with your teacher. For some reason, you were always at your fucking worst with your teacher because you're feeling self-conscious. Then next is practice, and then finally is performance. That's sort of the gradient. Alright, let's continue zooming this motherfucker up. Actually, I want to test something. I was wanting to test something as I was playing this. I want to make this into a scale. Oh man, there's possibilities. Yeah, I'll have to play around with that later. Light says your mom is distracting. I should be brave and play Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Fine. Fine. I can do that. Just let me play a little bit more of Gold Rush because I'm feeling like a badass on this song and I want to get a little faster, and then I'll switch to Foggy Mountain Breakdown for you. You know, I see FMB, and half of me was like, oh yeah, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Let's see, no, it's in a minor chord. It starts on an E minor. I had a purpose that pursuing the path. Let's see, so it's, I had a purpose that pursuing the... Nope, what word? Well, okay, so it's E minor, pursuing a path to Cadillac, a dream, but it's a winding road. Let's see. Again, bluegrass style. Oh, you think I'm a weeb? I could sing this in Japanese. I could. Okay, yeah, the people who actually know Japanese are gonna be like, that sounds terrible. Let's see. I had a best ever, slowing the path to catalyze a dream. Oh my gosh, that would actually be really fun. I need to do again I need to do again on banjo. You have given me inspiration. Oh, I do want to play, oh, so she's like, oh, your friend should be brave and just go for it. Oh, so your mom's around? Okay, yep, I see. Or, you know, she was talking about it anyway. Yeah, Foggy Mountain Breakdown is so fun. It's easier when you have the music in front of you. I should get the music. She said your grandpa could play Foggy Mountain Breakdown on guitar, but wanted to learn it on banjo. Dude, that's legit! You have awesome family! I'm getting my Foggy Mountain Breakdown right now, because you are distracting me! Foggy Mountain Breakdown on guitar can be really cool and intense. You should hear the versions of Foggy Mountain Breakdown where Earl's son Randy just went away on the flat picking guitar. He could pick the hell out of Foggy Mountain Breakdown on guitar. It was batshit. You are not music. Good job. Third generation music. Nice. I don't know how many generations of music I am. I have a distinct feeling that a butt ton of my family for generations and generations are musicians. So, yep, I got this book. That's where all of my Earl Scruggs music comes from. Okay, and I just dropped my... Where did you go? 1 second, I need to find my pegs again. My picks. 1, 2. Where's number 3? It's actually sort of hilarious how many people are like, I want to learn banjo, but just enough to play Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Like, okay. I mean, not that I blame them. It's a legitimately awesome song. Light says, is that the book where he disses Bill Monroe for an entire page? Oh yeah, that's the book. Yep. That's the book where we diss Bill Monroe for an entire page. This book has a list of grievances against what it is like to be in Bill Monroe's band for no reason in the autobiography section. You know, it's disguised as Earl talking about, you know, how his journey as a musician began, and I'm like, no, you just complained about your rival for an entire page. An entire page. So hilarious. 95 reasons why fuck Bill Monroe. Yeah. Although we know he didn't hate Bill. We know there were frustrations, obviously, and we know he loved Bill in his heart, and, you know, they did make up later, but this was during the height of the rivalry, where I'm sure we were letting off some steam. Okay, dude, so the interview I was listening to the other day was Earl Scruggs, and it was hilarious because the interviewer, one of her questions that she asked him was, what was it like to play in Bill's band? And before the words had finished coming out of her mouth, Earl just interjects, it was terrible! And then he goes off and he explains. But I laughed so hard, he didn't even let her finish the sentence before he was just like, it was terrible! If I hadn't been a 21-year-old guy with lots of young energy, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm laughing so hard. Poor Poor Bill. Poor Bill. Okay, let's see. Where is the... Oh, Flint Hill Special. Yeah, song. I'll not be able to play. Where is Foggy Mountain Breakdown? You would think I have the page memorized. It's 108. So much for me getting better at Gold Rush. Light! That's gotta be the fucking boldest Earl has ever been. That interview was... It was a good interview. Earl had his, you know, people start to ask you the same questions over and over, right? So Earl was old enough that he was basically defaulting to his script. So you could tell he was giving scripted answers because he's answered those questions so many fucking times that he just says the same thing over and over. But every once in a while he said some sort of tidbit that was sort of special. Like, you know, as much as I was talking with Light yesterday, because near the end of the interviewer actually asked Earl what his relationship was like with Lester Flatt after their band breakup, which is a little bit of a sensitive subject. And she literally asked, you know, what was your relationship with Lester like through Lester's death? I think she was trying to prompt the story where Earl visited Lester on his deathbed, which is a touching story, but, you know, I was like, you know, that's a little bit of a sensitive subject for a stranger to be asking. The gold tidbit in that interview is, despite her asking a personal question, is that Earl actually clarified Lester and I were friends after the breakup. We just didn't have the chance to talk because we were both busy with full schedules in our respective bands. And then he ended up getting choked up and saying, you know, even though it's been, you know, several decades since Lester's died, you know, I still, you know, basically love him and cherish the memories that we had traveling and playing together. And, you know, he got choked up talking about that, and I was like, ow, my heart. But, yeah. So that interview had some good stuff in there. Even with the scripted answers. Interview was also good because Louise actually answered questions, as Earl shoved some of the questions at his wife, and usually she just hides behind, she just hides and doesn't answer anything, so it's like, whoa, you actually talked. Light's sobbing. Yeah, I know, my feels. I was like, ow! Ow. Alright, now we have the page open. That's the note I always miss. I should just circle it. Because, oops. I think I'm gonna put the glasses on. Light says, wow, I would have thought that Louise would be a touch more vocal. I suppose, like everyone else who knows Earl, she's just like, no, you get the spotlight, Mr. Famous. No, So, I think one of the most fascinating things that I've noticed about Louise is I have a difficulty getting a grasp of her personality exactly because she preferred to manipulate the strings in the background. She had very few photos shown of her during the Flatt and Scruggs career. She did all of the business stuff and all the background workings, but she just didn't stay near the spotlight. She never answered interview questions, despite the fact, you know, people wanted her to answer things too, because she knew things very well on the business end. She preferred to be the, you know, the puppeteer in the background, right? So you'd see her influence everywhere, and you'd see her written notes and her press releases and stuff, but you would never see her. until the last few decades of her life. So it was always a very rare opportunity to actually see her interviewed. And so that one that I listened to yesterday was very interesting in the fact that Earl was actually the person saying, no, get my wife to answer this question. I don't know it well enough. Let her answer it. So that was surprising, not only because, number one, she answered, but because Earl, who knows that she hides in the background, was the person shoving her into the foreground. But yeah, so that was interesting. It's a fascinating dynamic. But she always seems to be the person who, like, I always wondered how much of their relationship was, like, lovey-dovey and how much of it was the fact that she met him as a fan first. And because she always was promoting the hell out of him. She knew how to make him sound so good. But, you know, she was always, you know, making her husband look the most glamorous he could in the spotlight. All the time. So, yeah. It's interesting dynamic. It worked, though. It worked. It was definitely a couple who knew how to get shit done. Let's actually make this sound good now. You can sort of tell what the visual is. The visual? The actual song is. It's recognizable in my early stages. Yeah, Light, I completely agree with you about his assessment. You could tell he loved her. You never really saw him get, like, oh, my wife! You never saw that, but, he definitely emphasized, my wife, Louise, pointed out that their relationship and, stuck with her the entire time, and, there is that part in that. I've seen photos, and you can see him grinning broadly, as one time Louise got an award from a fancy society. I think it was the Bluegrass Hall of Fame, and Earl was the one who presented it to her, and you could just see that grin on his face. You knew he loved her and was so proud of her, so, you could see it in that quiet thing. Yeah, Louise has so many Slytherin vibes. Like, she throws me off. Like, I get so less information on her, but every single bit of information that I've gotten on her, I'm like, holy crap, that's a Slytherin. You're so right. It's totally Slytherin wife and Hufflepuff husband. It is absolute. There's no other possibility between the two of them. It's still really sad that we have figured out the Hogwarts houses of bluegrass musicians. in history. There we go. Foggy Mountain Breakdown. It exists. Let me get back to Gold Rush quickly. Rush back to Gold Rush. I have to make really terrible word jokes or else I am a failure of a linguist. I also still stand by our assessment that the majority of bluegrass nerds in the first generation, there was just a bunch of stupid, egotistical Gryffindors fighting for who could be in the spotlight more. So many stupid Gryffindors. No offense to all my Gryffindor friends, but oh my gosh. Alright. Where did my phone go? Nerds got a nerd indeed. There is no turning off the nerd. Back to Gold Rush. I'm actually feeling great now! Fuck yeah! Like, there's no way that Bill Monroe wasn't a Gryffindor. There's no way that Jimmy Martin wasn't a Gryffindor. There's no way that... the Stanleys were probably Gryffindors. Oh, yeah. Lester. Yeah. Just a whole bunch of idiots. I love them, but they're idiots. And that's why Bluegrass was so contentious in the first generation, is because we were all a bunch of fuckheads. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm finally starting to, like, warm up into my instrument, like, a full hour or two into the stream. I don't even know how much time it's been. Probably some ridiculous 2 hours or something batshit. How are you still hanging out with me? Light says, Haddock, we love hanging out with you. Legit, you could host a fucking Bluegrass Creek podcast. Oh my gosh. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. The problem is I need someone to bounce off of me. I would need a second voice to be like, holy shit, you are so weird, and prompt my discussions and conduct my ravings. Otherwise, like, I don't know if I could do it 100% myself. I feel like it'd be more fun with me being like, ah! While someone else is like, oh my gosh, in the same audio stream with me. You say, I can volunteer. You'd be a good volunteer. You unfortunately know the shit because I've told you so much shit. Oh my gosh, I'm tempted. Okay. You know what? Don't. Oh, fucking hell. Now I'm actually tempted. I hate you. I hate you. Okay. Of course you're not sorry, you're evil. I'm going to blatantly, pointedly ignore you. Oops. It's hard to flip people off with... I'm going to pointedly play things and ignore you. Let's go up to 90! You know, I'm gonna try this without a metronome to sound cool. Ready? Let's be cool. Yep. Yeah, let's go fast. Yes! Gotta go fast. Sonic time. And Fury's getting excited. And Light's mocking me, and oh, I am ignoring you now with what you're saying there. Slander! Yeah, that's the note I'm messing up on. There we go. Well, I've got my satisfaction in there. Ah, it makes me so happy! Love you too, guys. Love you too. Oh, this is such a fun song, once I actually got into it. I love that part. I have to replay it. Yeah, I'm not gonna get much faster than that while sounding something. So Light says, I feel your determination to ignore my teasing is making you play better. Oh fuck, this means you're gonna start teasing me more just so that I ignore you more so I play better. Is that what's gonna happen? Let's see. The other song, ignoring you again, that I have been learning is called Interstate Rag by Merle Watson. Woot woot. I love that line so much. Isn't that so cool? And if you get the line before it right, which I suck at, it sounds so cool. Here, let's start it from the top and just go through the song once to show you how it goes. Light, I can... Oh, no, you are not. Oh, no, you are not. Actually, I wouldn't care if you did. That would be hilarious. Everyone else on the stream would be like, what the crap did I walk into? But, not like I'm playing before a big audience anyway. No, it is right. Whatever notes were, and then the cool part at the end. Come on. songs. Like, we're all friends here, evil grin. Oh, nyeh. Well, will we be friends by the end of it? I feel like playing a few more songs. I'm just gonna quickly play through a few and then say that I've gotten lay fidgets out, hopefully. Hopefully. I say with some slight lack of optimism. Will we be friends by the end of it? Such a pressing, dramatic question. Alright, let's actually capo this sucker up, because I feel like capo! Come on, you little fidgety butt. Okay. Nice 7 chord there. Haddock, we all know you're a masochist who enjoys punishment. Cherokee shuffle time! Yeah. Close enough. Yep. Yep, there it is. Let's not look at... Actually, let's look at the music just for... Don't compare me to Crowley. I'm nothing like him. Whatever. I'm getting some bras over there. Geek in denial. I'm actually starting to feel tired, so I think I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna do one final experiment, because we were talking about Foggy Mountain Breakdown. So this was during the period of Flat and Scruggs, where to sing in more preferable keys, they tuned all their instruments up half a step. So Earl's banjo was actually tuned to G fucking sharp. So, if you want to play along with any of their songs during that early period in the, late 1940s, you gotta retune your banjo or put on a capo. does not like being in G sharp. Sorry. Talk to Earl Scruggs about this stupidity. This is not my fault. Oh my Thor. Okay, my banjo hates being in this key. Oh, we're so out of tune. Oh my gosh, we're so out of tune. Yikes. Nope. That experiment is ending. Alright, I think I am going to call it a night for the streaming. As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It is so much fun to be able to do some music with you guys as I adventure and learn about an instrument. And, you know, it's double the fun. If you guys, well, you guys are going to be on Discord. I know how this works. I will probably continue to be online. I may need to be yelled at several times, though, because I have had a fidgety brain. So my work productivity has been pretty bad. So if you see me spending too much time on Discord, there is a chance that I am doing Discord instead of my job, and that is not okay. And yeah, that is my issue. But, you know, hopefully this will make me more productive. I've gotten my energy out. You've let me scream about really stupid bluegrass things for probably 2 hours. Who knows how long. I'm going to look at the length of this stream and be absolutely terrified. Light says, thanks for the stream, and you will yell at me accordingly. Thank you so much. I will end the stream now then, and continue to keep me updated about all the life antics, and as always, I hope that I can hear about your life antics and watch you guys stream when you guys get to it. So have a good one, and until next time, live long and prosper.